I was working at a computer company and also volunteering at a not-for-profit, the Museum for Textiles. And as I was working at the computer company, computers were piling up in closets as we were using more and turning them over. And the nonprofit was, like a lot of other nonprofits, looking for as many computers as they get their hands on because they were very expensive in those days. So I just put the two together and formed a company to get all the computers from corporations across Canada and get them to charities.
What we undertook in the last couple of years was looking at different projects and looking at ways of expanding our reach. We still provide computers under the Restart program, and we are also working with some folks at Jane and Finch, the Peach Group, promoting education and community health, and we're teaching job skills and computer repair to some young residents of that community. We also have an interesting project in Parkdale called Relay, and it's free Wi-Fi, open access on a stretch of Queen West in downtown Toronto. One thing we're very interested in that we're working on is something called Building Bridges with Stories, and that's effectively bringing the capacity to make movies and bring a voice to First Nations youth in Ontario.
We're a retail store and an IT service provider, and we offer training for mostly co-op students from high schools. One client segment we have coming in quite often is for families with multiple kids. Most kids, they need a computer in school now, and they need it to do their homework as well. And we're happy to be able to provide that service.
We're an Aboriginal-focused counseling agency that works with women, children, youth, and their families that have experienced violence. We're not-for-profit, which means that we don't have a whole lot of funding, whether it's for capacity building, technical support, computers.
One of the major issues in an amazing community like Jane and Finch is youth employment, especially sustainable employment. So this is a program where they can either bring some skills that they already have in the tech industry or gain new skills in business and leadership or technology. They will have a great resume and a great set of skills to take to other jobs.
What I do is marketing. I tell people about our company and try to promote this company and tell people more about what we do and what we sell. And I also hand out flyers and talk to people. The thing that changed about me is that I can now talk to strangers more.
I mostly deal with like the administrative stuff, creating invoices, creating internal documents, setting up emails.
When there's customers that come in, I will help them with what they need, and I will tell the tech people what they need to do with their laptops or desktops. I've learned a lot of stuff about computers, like more stuff that I knew before, so that's really helpful.
So our part of the Parkdale community is really the low-income residents. That's who the clinic serves because we are offering poverty law services. So reBOOT Relay offers free Wi-Fi. We were attracted by that because we want to have that service available for clients within the clinic and members of the community who are accessing the clinic for information.
A lot of newcomers, when they first come to Canada, settle in the Parkdale neighborhood. A lot of them have no computer at home whatsoever. So they have their basic smartphone, they may not have a very good data plan, they need access to the internet just to stay up to date on what's happening.
What we were thrilled about with this was that it actually starts to bring back, it's a leveling of access for people for information. Just about nowadays, any form, government form, any access, you're going to be doing it online. How do you do that? A lot of them might have some mobile opportunity, but you need to be able to get online. So how do they get in touch with you? Well, they're probably going to send you, like all of that stuff, right? So we have moved from being a society where mail and telephone calls are going to be the way to a much more digital society. And we haven't figured out how we're going to bring along the people who can't afford to participate. And so, I mean, reBOOT has always been looking at that as an ethical piece. That's why it's such a nice partnership.
I had one of my residential tenants who has a spotty internet connection, and she was looking to reconnect with her son. And I actually said, all you need to do is start using this. There's a great signal in this 100-yard area. You're going to be able to have a full-on phone conversation anytime you want without any issue, whereas suddenly that wasn't possible. A calling card is not an option. And so here is an opportunity that we created that reBOOT's Relay has helped provide a connection for folks that the rest of us take for granted.
We have a lot of youth coming up that are needing something to do, and multimedia and digital media is the way that the future is going, and so we need to have these resources available in our community.
We need things in our community to help us get our stories out there. I want to be a part of the answer, and so does all of the youth from my community. And visuals and storytelling is the way to do it. Now we just need access to the equipment and the knowledge, and we'll see a big change as soon as we have those things.
What we're really trying to do in terms of access to computers and providing accessible technology is making sure that no one's left behind, that you're not disadvantaged and you're not restricted to access to those tools simply because you can't afford them. And we want to make that an easy choice for a parent to have a computer in their home so that their kid can have the same opportunities in school that their neighbors would, or that their classmates would.